On today's show,
trade rumors are a-swirling, but who's more likely to be moved? Goran Dragic or the Nets big man, Brook Lopez?
we'll discuss the 2017 All-Star jerseys, the MVP candidate playing better defense, and the nicest dance moves.
And we'll throw some sauce on a brand new edition of Weekend Whoopsies.
It's Monday, January 9th. The Star starts now!
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast, joining us live right now on NBA TV, or a little bit later on YouTube, we're happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
My next blank will be my first.
Stay on him.
Nope.
Stay on him.
Not going to happen.
Stay on him.
Never. Nope. Didn't flinch. I'm like
Wow.
Kobe and Matt Barnes.
Oh,
It's dusty in here.
to his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Leolis.
Minute.
Lily always blinking. And last, certainly not least, over there, it's the bearded one. It's Trey Kirby.
Hey, yo!
TK, what do you got for us?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters. And guys, sometimes my job is super easy. Like, for instance, when the Pistons' Beno Udrih blasts a gram of him and Boban Marjanovic looking super cool along with the caption, album dropping soon. It's pretty easy because it leads us to today's task. Let's name that Boban and Beno album. Couldn't be easier. Anyways, for me, we're gonna start with old school Detroit internet culture and call it It's So Cold in the D, or you could reference old school hip hop straight out of Eastern Europe, or my favorite, an obscure jazz record, Bobes and Beans Sing the Blues. But we wanna hear from you, so hop on Twitter and name that Boban and Beno album. Send us your best tweets to hashtag the starters. We'll check them out a little bit later.
All right,
Nice.
Name that album. Get those tweets in. We've got a fun show tonight. We're going to play a little fill in the blank, and we have a new batch of Weekend Whoopsies. But first, let's play a little What You Got. It's pretty simple. Trey presents us with two similar topics, and we got to determine the better choice. The catch, though, there's only one right answer, and that's whatever TK says it is. Trey, first one.
That's right, someone call my friend the Southern Lawyer because it's trade season, y'all. And a couple of the biggest rumors so far include names we often hear this time of year, like the Heat's Goran Dragic, who's been traded at the deadline twice, and the Nets' Brook Lopez, who has somehow never been traded, despite always being on the trade block. So guys, who's more likely to be traded? Dragic or Lopez? What you got?
It's got to be that guy. It's got to be Brook Lopez. What's the point of keeping him around? They don't have their own pick this year or next year. How are they going to get better? They have 8 wins. That's less wins than the Sixers. What's the point of seeing him through his prime?
Right.
He's going to be 29 in April for a team that's got 8 wins. Move him. I think the Heat can be closer because they have Dragic and Whiteside. They get one part. They've got their own pick. They're a lot closer. The Nets they have to just scrap it.
Mark Stein, though, of ESPN, reporting that the Nets want 2 first-round picks for Brook Lopez.
Right.
That's probably asking for too much. You would think maybe 1 first-round pick and then maybe a young prospect of some sort would be enough to get a deal done. The question really to me is just, who do teams want more in this league? Do you want more of a Brook Lopez, a big guy that has added a bit of a three-point shot, is obviously still great, or a point guard in Goran Dragic, who's putting up solid numbers, like some of his best numbers since his All-NBA days. So that's, I don't think either of these eventually will get moved, especially the asking price being as high as it is right now.
Which team, though, right now needs a point guard? I'd say Chicago Bulls could do an upgrade
Bulls,
there.
Kings,
Sacramento Kings.
maybe the Knicks.
Yeah, but again, with Derrick Rose there,
Yeah.
other than that, I don't think a lot of teams are really in the market for a point guard. Now, I think he's a good player, and I think he could certainly help a team, but really, there's just not a great market for him right now. Remember that he gave up 2 first-round picks to get him as well, so they're going to at least want one of those coming back. And I think unless you are a team that really feels that Dragic can maybe come off the bench and be your backup point guard, I'm not really sure where there's a home for him outside of Miami right now.
ESPN's Zach Lowe, on his latest podcast, he said that the Heat were, quote, open for business, and that literally no one on that squad is untouchable when it comes to trading, and he's included Hassan Whiteside in that mix because of all, it's been a horrible year for them.
Yeah.
The whole Chris Bosh, unfortunately, him not playing, Justice Winslow recently out with an injury. They're right there by the Nets and the Sixers at the bottom of the standings. It seems like this season's a bit of a wash, and you wonder if Pat Riley goes, well, we already have 1 pick, maybe we try and make a move and get another pick and just build for the future here.
Yeah.
And that would be maybe the only reason I would lean towards Dragic being more likely of the two. You see the race to the 2017 number 1 pick.
I can't believe the Celtics
right there.
still got another pick coming from
It's
the Nets.
wild.
And that's Paul Pierce.
This one and the next one. They have next year's pick is unconditional that they have from that Paul Pierce trade. But Goran Dragic can help absolutely anyone. What the real terrible thing that's happened to them is he's been out, Whiteside's been out, and Chris Bosh obviously hasn't seen the floor. But those three guys are, amongst the top at their positions.
If they were all playing,
healthy.
yeah.
If they're all healthy,
Yes,
but
it's a totally different scenario,
Yeah.
obviously.
All right, Trey, what's the correct answer?
I think it's going to be Goran Dragic, just because Brook Lopez always seems like he's going to get traded. Never gets traded. He's going to play 20 seasons all with the Nets. It's going to be unbelievable. We're going to look back on it and say, how did that never go down? Anyways, moving on. A couple of MVP candidates made waves yesterday, and not for their offense. In Toronto, James Harden made several key defensive plays down the stretch in the Rockets' victory over the Raptors. And in Sacramento, Kevin Durant notched 4 blocks and a steal in a bounce-back win over the Kings. What was the better MVP defense, Harden or Durant? What you got?
I like we're talking a little defense here.
Yeah,
James
rare.
Harden for me.
Really?
Because he's got a reputation as being a bad defender. And once you get a reputation on the internet like that, it's very, very hard to shake it. But what he did last night, put his body on the line, sacrifice for his team. If you're going to be the leader of a team, you have to show that you're prepared to sacrifice at both ends of the floor. They were key defensive moves that he made. And Kevin Durant's a good defender. He's been a good defender for a long time. James Harden hasn't been. Last night, I think James Harden may have started the change and just showing that he is prepared to at least put in more effort on the defensive end.
That's the thing about James Harden. Last year was just a terrible year for the Rockets franchise. They finished 41-41, and this just shows you, if a guy is ready to show up when the season begins in training camp, then his team has to follow. He wasn't ready. I think he would tell you that after being second in voting to Steph Curry. Kevin McHale unfortunately paid the price for it as their coach after 11 games. But when he's ready, lots of credit to Mike D'Antoni, but when your leader leads, other guys fall in line.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yes, and that's exactly what's happened from year to year.
That all said, I mean, congrats to Harden for getting 2 steals, 2 blocks, and getting a charge. Kevin Durant's been the better defender by a mile this season in comparing the two, to me. Career high 1.7 blocks per game for KD. Still a huge reason why the Warriors are top 5 defensively in this league. He's being asked to do more. He's being asked to do what we saw in the playoffs when he was with the Thunder last year, and that was being a bit more of a rim protector. KD's top 20 in the league when it comes to rim protection. Top 20, really, really solid. So I go Durant, not just what he did on Sunday, but sort of what he's done all year. I think he's going to warrant some All-NBA consideration. I think
Defense,
Harden's ultimately going to win MVP if they continue their 60-win pace. I think KD will be an all-defensive player nominee.
Yeah, he's been great. And watching these two guys do it on one night, it was an easy topic for us right here. But Kevin Durant has been doing it all year.
Yeah.
They asked him at the beginning of the year, you've got to be an intimidator at the rim. We've got no choice with the way our personnel and our roster is comprised. We let Andrew Bogut go. We let Festus Ezeli go.
Yeah.
You have to go get to the rim. Even when, Zaza Pachulia is a perfect positional defender, he's going to get in front of guys. Well, that's when you can help out and block shots. That 1.7 is best amongst guys who aren't big men in this league other than Giannis Antetokounmpo, but he's a freak, so he's allowed to be above it. But yeah,
Isn't Durant 7 feet though?
Yeah.
well, they're both freaks. I mean, we're talking about him, Porzingis, and Giannis Antetokounmpo as the guys that can shoot or block a shot and then go shoot a 3 at the other end. There's only a handful of guys, and those are the ones. And he's getting to every shot at the rim. That's why it makes their defense, a threat. I mean,
Still elite, yeah.
both of them. Yeah.
All right, Trey, what's the answer?
For me, the answer is Harden. Like Lee said, he's got the reputation. When he disproves the reputation, you got to give him a little bit of a shout out. But moving on, it's time to put it on your dancing shoes. Because NBA players were cutting loose over the weekend, like, for instance, John Wall, who busted a move as the final seconds ticked off the clock.
I like that.
In the Wizards' win over the Bucks, or Russell Westbrook and Cameron Payne, who were finally reunited for their pregame dance party when Payne returned from injury on Saturday. Who had the nicest dance moves, Wall or Westbrook and Payne? What you got?
I think Wall.
It's Wall. He had a ball involved as well.
Yeah, the game was going on.
Yeah.
But he travelled, didn't he, then, if the game was still going?
Yeah. And,
You're one of those people,
and Payne, yes. I mean, he's dancing with the ball. He's got a dance partner
See, that's a carry.
that he's controlling.
Hey, he's already got enough turnovers. You don't need to give him that one, too.
Now, Westbrook and Payne also lose points because there's a man at that press scorers table who's watching the football game at the same time as the Thunder take the field.
I was a
back.
little disappointed, I'll be honest, in Payne and Westbrook.
I thought they were having a slow
I
dance.
thought they held back a little bit, and maybe that's because Payne, like Trey said, is just coming back from injury. But they're always doing just hand moves anyway. So
It does build a little
It
bit.
builds a little, but we've seen them go way crazier than that. So I think it's Wall too. And look, Walls came also. He was celebrating. He was dancing because they picked up another win over the Bucks. That's
Oh, who
twice now
cares?
since Christmas.
It's not about the wins.
John Wall has
about
been
the
putting up
spins.
22, 12, and 4 over the last 7 games, and the Wizards have won 5 of those.
Yeah.
And Wall is just making this whole Eastern Conference guards all-star picks even more convoluted
yeah.
than it already is. So I think we're in agreement still for the most part. It's John Wall. What's the answer, Trey?
Yeah, that's John Wall.
Yeah.
Like Taz said, it's not about the wins.
It's about the
It's about the spins.
Oh, yeah!
You almost held your balance there.
He just
Let's hold it. Yeah, crushed it.
crashes over.
Yeah.
takes
How
up-
many do you want? I can go either way.
All right, we'll keep spinning through the break, Trey. When we come back, break up them Sixers. We'll have some fun with the Sixers on the win streak and a lot more as we play fill in the blank. Philly in the blank. Back with the starters. Trey is still spinning as I speak, but let's play a little fill in the blank. Hopefully you're not too dizzy.
Very dizzy over here, but cue the cool in the gang because the Philadelphia 76ers won their 10th game of the season last night, already equaling their win total from last season in just 35 games. Guys, fill in the blank. The Sixers getting to 10 wins is like blank.
It's like when they call a contestant's name on The Price is Right. Everybody's extremely pumped. Wow, your name was called, but you haven't won anything. You just get to come up to the table and lose.
I went with a real basketball team because it is nice that they're already at 10 wins. It took them till April.
Yeah.
April of last year to get to 10 wins. And the year before
Baby
that, they
steps,
only had
baby
18.
steps.
And the year before that, they only had 19. It's nice that they're an actual basketball team now. And you even have Joel Embiid talking about the playoffs, which I think maybe is a bit of a stretch. Yeah, playoffs. But it's not. I'm really happy for these guys. Embiid obviously has gotten better every game offensively. He's already great defensively. TJ McConnell is a pesky defender. Covington can't hit a shot to save his life, but has been great defensively.
a game winner.
Yeah, besides that one, that's true. Nerlens Noel coming off the bench. I'm just happy these guys are playing some defense,
Yeah.
and it's nice that they're picking up some wins against some pretty subpar competition.
And Ben Simmons might be coming back soon.
That's
We've
huge.
seen him on the court going through some pre-game stuff, so hopefully he's not too far away. But if you are a Sixers fan, these last 3 years have been awful.
Yeah.
So you want to actually see this team starting to put things together. And so I wrote celebrating not sucking anymore. Because, I mean, they have sucked for the last 3 years, and now they've got 10 wins. It's like, wow, it's a milestone. It's not really, because they're still miles away from getting into the playoffs, but at least it's something.
I think it's better, for Ben Simmons to come back to a team that isn't hot garbage, though. I mean, I think if, and hopefully he does come back within a month or so. If he was coming back to like a 5-win team here, the worst in the league, I think he would have more pressure on him as a number 1 pick to sort of turn them around. That's sort of gone now, just because they're not the worst. So that's a good sign as well.
Yeah, I don't know if they have any pressure in Philadelphia whatsoever the last few years, but their watchability has gone way up as guys that watch plenty of basketball around the league. I think from the 15 to 30 teams, this is the best NBA that we've seen in a long time that I can remember. We just talked about the Brooklyn Nets having 8 wins. I can watch the Brooklyn Nets play basketball. They have a great style. The Sixers have a great style. They have an identity. All those teams, all those teams at the bottom of the rung there, they're not bad at all.
All right, Trey, next one.
All right, next one. Adidas recently unveiled the 2017 NBA All-Star jerseys for this year's festivities in New Orleans. The reviews were not great, Bob. But I want to hear from you, fashionable dudes, and also Lee. Fill in the blank. The 2017 All-Star jerseys are blank.
They're bland.
Well,
They're bland, man.
I think one of them is bland. I've gone 50% okay, because I think the black ones actually are not too bad.
Okay, you're right. The black ones are better than the very boring gray ones.
I don't like any team's grey uniform.
I know, gray looks,
Awful.
it just looks cheap.
Yeah.
It looks like a practice jersey.
That's exactly what it looks like here. The black ones, though, not too bad. Get a nice pair of red shoes with those, Trey. I think
Yeah,
that'd look
sure,
great,
red shoes, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, they're growing on me a little bit. At first, I didn't like. They look extremely plain. They look like jerseys that you'd see at Foot Locker or Athlete's World that just say "cool guy" on them. Like really simple. Like, hey, I'm gonna throw it on, but these aren't for us, guys. They're for the kids.
Yeah.
Can't you see the kids wearing? Can't you see Austin Mahone or Hayes Greer wearing them? Who? Yeah, exactly. They're not for you. They're for young
But Tess,
people.
but Tess.
They can sport them. We can't. I don't think they're that bad.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You love New Orleans, right?
Yeah, one of the best
most
cities in
exactly
North
one of the
America.
most vibrant, colorful cities in America.
Yeah.
Those
They're
jerseys
gonna stand out.
don't scream, yeah, because they're so bland.
They're bland.
Maybe
And
that's it. Bland is the new cool.
And like compare them to remember this is like the third time in 10 years,
Yeah.
of course, that we're going back to New Orleans, and maybe a part of this is because Charlotte
Short
got the
notice,
All-Star
yeah.
game removed, and there was a short turnaround. They just had to put together the most generic jerseys we've ever seen. But those ones we've seen back in 08 and 2014, like. Whether you liked them or not,
Yeah.
you couldn't say they were boring or bland. They had the personality of New Orleans a little more.
I know. We complained about those ones.
Yeah,
that's
they
for
were
sure.
ugly too. but-
The bar was set high in Toronto last year. Those jerseys were great, so it was tough to
They were nice.
replicate
All right,
those.
Trey, final one here.
All right, here's a very weird thing that is somehow true. 50 Cent says Kenyon Martin and Tim Thomas are going to box each other. What? Gives us the final chapter in a decade-long beef that saw Thomas call Martin fugazi and Martin wear a newspaper with the headline "Whiny Tim" taped to his jersey for an entire practice. Again, this is somehow all true, so I need you guys to fill in the blank. Kenyon Martin and Tim Thomas's boxing match is blank? Huh?
I mean, I just wrote down a whole bunch of question marks. I'm so confused by all of this. And I'm not just talking the Tim Thomas versus Kenyon Martin.
You didn't know about their beef?
Like, what is going on here? Soulja Boy is going to fight Chris Brown in a boxing match.
Yeah.
Where 50 Cent is like the Don King of this whole thing.
Right.
But Floyd Mayweather is the promoter, but he's also training up Soulja Boy. Where Mike Tyson's training up Chris Brown. Savage 21 Savage is going to fight 22 Savage for the Savage name. What the hell is going on here?
I'll tell you what's
I'm
happening.
serious.
17, it's
I'll
all
tell you
about
what's
boxing
happening.
matches.
It's not going to happen. It's just not
It's
going
not
to
going to
happen.
happen.
No.
It's going to be like
It's
Hakeem
just one of
Olajuwon
these
versus
things.
Shaq one-on-one.
Chatter,
It's not
chatter,
gonna
chatter,
happen.
chatter, chatter.
You
Not
don't- you don't-
happening.
I just think it's a bad idea because boxing's one of those things. Unless you are a good boxer, it's really tough for people to watch. It's just two guys,
yeah,
just
the
two guys
watchability.
Because
slugging
of
it out of
like
each other.
celebrity boxing.
If they want to box, get our man Kendall Gill in there. He can box.
Kendall Gill
Yeah.
box.
Nobody wants to box Kendall.
No, that'd be a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right, after the jump, DeAndre Jordan and his invisible stat sheet make an appearance in Weekend Whoopsies. Come on back. Back with the starters. We asked you, name that album. You guys hit us up on Twitter, hashtag starters. Trey, you have a few of the best answers.
Yeah, some funny responses. This one comes from Jay Will, who says Lofi, an acronym for looking old and feeling young. Certainly nicer than the person who said ears for fears. Moving on. This one comes from William, who says it should be called Jacket Required, a take on an old Phil Collins record, which is also a great name for a podcast tour if you're ever on one. Moving on, Nicholas says 2.5 Men. Very funny. Pete says it's a self-titled EP. The Balkan Boys. The Balkan Boys. And the final one comes from Derek, who says it's not an album. It's the cover to the remake of the movie My Giant.
Oh, yeah.
They should remake it.
Was there any B&B Music Factory?
You're the first one, man.
Oh, nice. I should have tweeted in. All right. Yeah, nice spin. Okay, let's get to a new edition here of Weekend Whoopsies. The NBA weekend never fails to amaze.
Greg Monroe's Milwaukee Bucks makes a pass to someone in black. Unfortunately, it's the server serving courtside.
No drinks were spilt though, so
She was
a success.
spotted up in the corner. Would have been a good shot. Steph Curry likes sports, and he don't care who knows, from the Wimbledon to the Super Bowl. Nice long snap to Clark, who's in the pocket like Rodgers.
Oh, go Theme.
Finds Curry, stays in bounds. Touchdown. That was more entertaining than the wild card game.
Tony Allen, he's always entertaining on offense. Takes the shot, but he catches it. That's a travel. Whoa, it's kind of a nice tip.
I
Yeah,
love Tony Allen layups.
They are fun. Some pickup leagues, that's allowed. You allow that. But in the NBA, not so much.
He knows it. He knows it. During Sunday's Wizards-Bucks game, this young fan, Sam, he sort of had second thoughts about dancing in front of a crowd. Like, he thinks about it. He's going to stop.
But he also can't
But then,
totally stop.
and then I'm going to dab. That's all right. Don't worry, Sam.
No problems. John Wall, he may have danced a little bit better.
Let me show you how to do it.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Rashawn Holmes loves this Nick Stauskas three-pointer. Put a little sauce Castillo on it there, Rashawn.
Too much sauce.
All over that imaginary burger.
In the post-game interview, Dario Saric really didn't like TJ McConnell pouring water on his head.
We try to play good defense. We try to,
Wow.
They're actually good pals.
Dario TJ made up post game. It's all cool. We posted a photo on Instagram.
Chris Paul can't get Raymond Felton's attention. Ray. Hey, Ray! Flashback, can't get Blake Griffin's attention. Blake! No one will listen to Chris Paul.
LeBron James doesn't want you in the huddle. Or maybe it's just a Gorilla Gatorade campaign. I'm not sure.
Oh,
Interesting.
Interesting.
what's your favorite flavor? What's going on there? Check out the Pistons bench coaching up 7'3" center Boban Marjanovic on how to be big. He
Build a bleeping wall, Boban.
doesn't need help on how to be big.
Star jumps.
And in this corner, from the University of Kentucky, born in Mobile, Alabama, representing the Sacramento Kings, it's DeMarcus Cousins. He comes out with a flurry. DraftKings is taking a beating. This isn't the FanDuel we all expected.
Is that on the Soulja Boy Chris Brown undercard? I want to know. Iman Shumpert can't believe that a call got overturned late. He's absolutely in utter disbelief. Which reminds us, of course, Shump and his Cavs at the White House last year, and he couldn't get over how efficient Obama's staff was at removing the presidential podium. Watch it. How many guys are doing this? How quickly are they doing this? Look at, he's in shock.
It's impressive, Iman. I get it.
He's looking around. Anyone see this? Can you believe it?
DeAndre Jordan getting ready for his post-game news conference. Usually there's a stat sheet, so he just makes one up. All right. Look at him soaking that information. Those eyes are flying around. Oh, he sees a stat. It's really impressive. Damn.
Ooh.
Okay.
I had 100 rebounds.
All right. Okay, let's go. I'm ready. Well done.
There it is, weekend whoopsies. When we return, Lily's very solid play. You got a good one for us?
It's a great one.
All right. Back with the starters, quick look at tonight's pick and play. It's the Thunder at Bulls. That one's available on League Pass tonight. Tass, the only one taking OKC on the road. Everyone else, including Trey, who's looking for his first win here, 2017, will take the Bulls. Good luck. Lily.
Heading out to LA for our first Shane Warne leggy of the season. It comes from
come
Chris
on.
Paul
Get outta
to
here.
Brandon Bass
Get
for
right
a beautiful
outta here.
finish. See, he doesn't really dunk it, he just drops it in because he
Really?
knows
He
that might
dunked it.
disqualify
That's
him
top 10
for
material.
a very solid play.
That's going to be in the top 10 plays of the week, probably.
That doesn't mean it's not solid.
Yeah, that
Oh,
does.
man.
That's literally the definition of it.
Better than solid.
We've had very solid plays in the top 10 before.
You're
That's
like
fine.
you're like the Joker. You have no rules. You don't like rules. You break rules. You make rules. You break.
I'm a trendsetter.
Yeah, I guess so. Tomorrow morning, Starters Twitter show. Join us live on Twitter. That makes sense at 11 a.m.
The
Eastern.
rules.
And we're gonna break down a whole bunch of these recent trade rumors and sort of grade whether or not we think they're reality. We do have some fan signs, unless you don't care about these.
Reese out in Phoenix went to his first NBA game and he took a great sign, sort of a Suns-inspired
Yeah.
the starter sign there. Really good job. Also out in Phoenix, Clay. He said he's just here for the swish bombs.
Oh, that's good.
That's a fantastic sign. Great job, guys. Keep them coming.
All right, Twitter show tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll be back here 6 p.m. on NBA TV.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, not all cats are female. It's a little known fact. They are both male and female.
Brace the night, people. He almost fell over.